Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at kind of an extended wave pattern short here on gold. Let me get my orders in here, place a buy stop above here, and the first target's going to come down here 1191.1, and the second target's just going to be an extension down here 86.8. We'll go to 86.9, just ahead of that level there. Now, the way that this is kind of setting up, gold had this really strong drop lower. You can see the timestamps down there show it to be very aggressive, and that drop lower, it gave us an opportunity to look for a longer term wave pattern, looking from these overall highs down to the overall lows and just looking for a nice little pullback into this area over here. Now, normally I want to get short in the trigger zone, this yellow box right here, but you can see we're actually quite a ways away from it. With these half back scenarios that we're looking at right now, a longer term wave, you're not necessarily always going to get into that area. Sometimes it's just unreasonable to want to see that. Now, that does mean that you're going to need a little bit of extra kind of oomph behind the trade, right? You don't just want to take a random trade in the middle of nowhere. But, you know, right now we came up into this area, and this is really the zone we want to be looking to sell in on these types of larger waves. And you can see we formed almost a little tiny head and shoulders pattern here, and we're falling off. Now, the part that I really liked about it is if we come in and look at this high here, we came up, made that 8-wave high, pulled back for the 9-wave high, just poked our head up for that 10-wave high, and then immediately started falling right back down. Now, that's where I decided to enter down there, 1294 even. Now, you'll notice I'm only taking 2 contracts on the short trade just because it requires a bigger stop. You know, from our entry here at 94, our stop's up here at 96. It's a 20-tick stop. Now, that being said, with this type of entry, using a little bit more confirmation from price, if we can get a drop to get that first target filled, just the first target's 29 ticks, so we're already past 1-to-1. And then lower, if we can get that bigger target filled down at 86.9, then we're looking at a really big run, 71 ticks. So even though we have to use a bigger stop, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad trade. You just kind of have to adjust accordingly. So looking right now, just on this kind of pullback area into the trigger zone, a little bit late to the trigger zone, but that's fine. We're into that same area, and with the confirmation we're seeing here with kind of a fake break high, immediate failure, it's exactly what we want to see. So looking for our first target, 91.1, second target, 86.9. If we can get those filled, then we're looking at a 100-tick right on the nose, 100-tick winner on the trade itself. So even though it's 2 contracts, 100 ticks can definitely be a nice little padding to the pocket there. So we'll give it a little bit of time. It may take a little while for this to work out. We have been seeing gold be quite volatile today. You can see the timestamps at the bottom. I mean, scrolling back for almost 3-4 pages worth of chart, and it's only 8 o'clock. So going a little bit farther forward, we're coming into the 10:15 or so area. News just came out, so we're sitting pretty well. Just kind of waiting for a little more confirmation. Oh, well, okay. Well, I guess I don't have to pause the video for the first target. I got that target filled. Let me adjust my stop. And we'll get that down to break even, a couple ahead of it there. There we go. So now that we're kind of locked into an already good trade, we're just looking for a little more follow through. We want to see this break through these lows especially. These are kind of the key area. 1289.8, we need to see that break down. If that doesn't break down, that could spell a little bit of trouble. But if we can break below that, then we know we're in the right place, and we should be able to fall right into our next target there. So just kind of waiting for a little more information, and we'll be back and see if we can get that target at 86.9 filled. All right, wow. Had another big kind of rocket ship to the downside. Got that final target, 86.9 filled. Lots of volume coming in on gold right now. It would have been nice to be able to take more contracts and just kind of trail this as it falls lower, but it got all of our targets. So 100 ticks right in the nose. Barely even had to pause the video. We're looking at, we got short at 10:12 and hit our final target at 10:16. So the whole whopping 4 minutes for 100 ticks. Not a bad gig. So that's going to be the trade for today. Kind of an extended half back, sort of longer term wave pattern with a little extra confirmation in the mix there just to be safe. So beautiful trade to the downside. That'll be it. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.